So the one thing I tell people is critical to the foundation of your Instagram success is having a profile that is optimized for new followers and conversions. So we want your Instagram profile description to tell people who you are, what you do, and what's in it for them.
Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you're looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Jenn Herman. Jenn is a globally recognized Instagram expert, social media consultant, speaker, and author. She helps organizations build smarter social media strategies, drawing on experience in administration, sales, HR, and marketing. Jenn has been featured by major media outlets and wrote Instagram for Dummies, Instagram for Business for Dummies, and the ultimate guide to social media marketing. So from this dummy to Jenn, welcome to Goalbusters.
Hi, Robin. Thank you for that intro.
You're extremely welcome. Thank you for your books for dummies. Like, you're right at my level. So whereabouts in the world are you, Jenn?
I am in San Diego, California.
Oh, I've been there. I know it's a beautiful part of the world. Absolutely beautiful. I'm quite envious. I loved it when I was there. But I can't dwell on that because you came here to answer some questions. So shall we do those instead?
Let's do that.
All right, I'll get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. Jenn, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
I have two ideal clients. So I do consulting, and so I've got a membership. I can do one-on-one consulting, and those are for the business owners, the people who want to use Instagram in their business and want expert help, not generic resources from the internet or AI tools. My second ideal client are people who book guests for speaking events. I am a speaker. I travel the world speaking at conferences and teaching Instagram marketing. So if you're looking for a speaker, I'm your girl.
Well, I'm looking for you to speak now, and you're certainly doing that absolutely brilliantly. That was very clear. So what exactly is the problem, or I imagine problems, plural, that you solve for your ideal clients?
I help them overcome challenges with Instagram. If they are struggling to get reach, they're struggling to gain followers, or struggling to get customers to convert off of Instagram, that is my job. I help them understand how to use the algorithm to their advantage, how to create content that converts, and how to use a platform in a way that actually connects with their audience so that they can build that loyalty following with an audience and drive to sales or leads, whatever their conversion metric is.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Although I'm actually being very still because I don't want to distract our people that are watching this on video, I'm leaning in because I'm absolutely fascinated. So what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to go some way towards solving these problems for themselves?
So the one thing I tell people is critical to the foundation of your Instagram success is having a profile that is optimized for new followers and conversions. So most people go in, they set up their Instagram account, they put up some content, they maybe throw in a sentence or two or a really long-winded corporate jargon of a profile description. That description is your 30-second elevator pitch. That is the amount of, people that come look at it is usually only the first time that they've ever found you. Once they're following you, they're not going to look at it again. So we want your Instagram profile description to tell people who you are, what you do, and what's in it for them. Because why would they follow you? Why would they want to work with you? Why would they care? So those three things should be wrapped up nicely with some bullet points, maybe some emojis, some less corporate jargon, maybe a little bit more fun factor built into it to convert those new people into followers and or give them a reason to want to follow you click on your link in bio, send you an email, that sort of thing.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. It all sounds incredibly simple, but often the important things are simple. But you do have to know what you're doing, and you've just explained that
Yes.
very eloquently. So thank you very much. So now that we have a little bit of a better understanding of what you're doing, and I stress a little bit because that's my fault. I only gave you 3 minutes, which is rubbish, really. Let's dive briefly into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. So, Jen, could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their general productivity habits, please?
So I'm going to keep it focused on Instagram since that's what I specialize in. Although I am a productivity hack, I am all about productivity in all aspects. But when it comes to your Instagram, I want you to think about some things like using a scheduling tool. Meta offers an in-platform scheduling tool for Facebook and Instagram, but I recommend using a third-party tool that allows you to put your content up on a calendar and have it scheduled to go out so you're not manually uploading. It allows you to spread out your content over an even period of time so you're not shoving a bunch of content just because you created it today. I also want you to consider using AI tools to help come up with ideas to, what are 10 topics I should talk about if my target audience is X and I want them to achieve Y? Come up with some ideas and brainstorms, and then you create the content. You might create the visuals, the reels, you might write the captions, but you can use AI to help you through those things as well. But have it help give you some ideas. If there's frequently asked questions that your audience always asks you, or questions you wish your audience knew to ask, those are great things to start creating content around. You don't have to go outside the box in a crazy realm. You already know what they're looking for. So focus on that. And then look for ways that you can maximize your content creation. So if you're using a tool like Canva, don't sit down and just create today's graphic. Create content for the next 3 or 4 posts while you're in there in your creative mindset so you can have a week's worth of content or 2, 3 weeks worth of content done quickly. Same thing with reels. Don't just film one video today, especially the ladies, hair and makeup, we're ready, we're good to go. Film 5 videos, have them while you're all ready, so you're not rushing to create content at the end, but you're also not creating content that becomes outdated in 5 weeks, right? So we want to do little mini batches that allow you to be efficient and create the content that will do well on Instagram.
Fantastic. You had me all there hanging on your every word until you said the word hair. And I'm like, what's that? Right. So, one final question then. What should I have asked you today that I didn't? And what would your answer be, Jen?
Well, so one thing people always ask is, what's the hinge of Instagram? Like, what do we need to be doing on Instagram? And honestly, the answer is have fun. I've always said, much like Rob and I could speak for the next 6 hours. I'm definitely very wordy and I could talk Instagram strategy for hours on end. But ultimately, it's about having fun. Your audience isn't there it's not LinkedIn, right? They're not there to do research. They might be looking for a product, they might be looking for a service, but they're also looking to decompress while they're waiting in the carpool line or while they're, scrolling TV or on their phone before they go to bed. So have fun. Have fun with your content. Your audience will feel the fun. They're more likely to interact with it. They're more likely to consume it if there's a fun factor. So look at your content strategy and see how you can kind of match that up with making it a little bit more on the fun side for you to create it and for them to consume it.
Look at that. We got time to spare. Wow, amazing. So I'm gonna stop the clock because I'm gonna use that time to extend the question I normally ask at this point, just a little bit, a little tiny bit.
Okay.
Which is at this point, thank you so much. That's been incredible. Again, you can't see I'm actually bouncing up and down with excitement because I'm really interested in what you're doing. It's fascinating because Instagram has always been a complete mystery to me. I mean, it's impenetrably complicated in my mind, but it's not really. I just haven't had time to look at it properly. So my question is it's a 3-parter. I normally ask a 2-parter. The first part, it's not that difficult. The first part is how can people reach you if they'd like to find out more about what you do? The second part, is there like a valuable free resource that they can get from you? Because that's a brilliant way of getting to know more about what you do. And speaking of a brilliant way to get to know more about what you do, please tell us about your books, because I'm a bookworm. I love books and books for dummies. I mean, hello, they're written for me. So if they're written for me, I mean, I'm sure there are other people as well. And so please do share about those as well.
All right. Well, you can find me everywhere around the internet as Jenn's Trends, JENNS Trends. So jenstrends.com. I'm Instagram at JENNS_trends. So pretty much everywhere as that. I'm on LinkedIn as Jenn Herman. But pretty much everywhere you search on the internet, you'll find me as Jenn's Trends. In terms of a resource, yes, I have a resource for all of your audience, which is 12 Reels Ideas. It's an ebook that will walk you through 12 different Reels ideas. It's not for one specific industry, but it's full of examples and reasons why those Reels work. So if you want to do one a month, you've got a year's worth of content. If you want to do one a week, then you got, 3 months worth of content. So it's going to help walk you through, get you started if you're struggling with Reels, and just have a kind of bit more of a starting point. So if you're at that dummies stage, this will definitely help you. And speaking of the books, all right here, we're actually working on a third edition of Instagram for Dummies right now. So that'll be coming out later this year in 2026. But yes, we have all four. There's actually 3 editions of Instagram for Business, and then there's 2 editions. We're working on the 3rd edition, Instagram for Dummies. So those will walk you through anything and everything you could ever have to know about, like literally getting started to running ads on Instagram. So it covers all aspects of those, and they're definitely one of these things that I'm always proud of them when they're done, but when I always say yes to these contracts, I go, why did I do this? Why am I writing another book? But they are such a great resource, and they're so helpful. So I hope that if you are looking for help with Instagram, you can check out those books wherever major book retailers are located.
Yes, and a cheeky question, but version 2 right now, it's still current enough though, isn't it? It's obviously, because it's changing all the time, these social media platforms.
Literally the moment we send in a chapter, it's like, oh wait, we have to update that screenshot, come back. Yes. But yeah, they're evergreen strategies for the most part. So maybe the buttons have moved, maybe, the screenshot looks a little bit different, but yes, the strategies are still the same. And especially in the Instagram for Business version, where we do talk more about things like hashtags and calls to action and, using direct messages as strategies. Those don't change. Those are still just as relevant now as when the book was written, even if the screenshots look a little bit different.
That's great. I'm glad I asked you that, because if I was thinking it, I'm sure that some of our listeners and readers, viewers may have been thinking the same thing, and that's really helpful. Jenn Herman, it's genuinely been an absolute delight. I as I said, you can't see it, but I'm bouncing up and down with excitement to have met you today, because I'm really interested in what you do, and I think other people will be too, because Instagram is a very powerful platform. I think I've done over 200 of these podcasts, and I think about 80 or 90% of the people that I talk to on this, they cite Instagram as their primary social media platform. And me, I'm like, I love that. I'm on LinkedIn. Oh yeah, I do that. I don't understand Instagram, but I want to. So thank you so much for coming on Goalbusters.
My pleasure.
And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.